But we're still missing digital evidence. We're still missing digital evidence on top of all that. This is one of the biggest problems that we're having in law enforcement right now. When people walk into someone's house or someone's business and they want to take their computer, if that computer is turned on, one of the first things law enforcement is doing is it's pulling the power plug out of the back of the machine. They're turning it off. There is a tremendous amount of information that we're losing, and we're trying to teach all of our law enforcement. I just taught our FBI 2 months ago a class, three months ago, time goes very fast, 3 months ago about how to capture all this information and what kind of information you can lose if you just turn the computer off or pull the power. We have to think about it. This is an ambulance, so I try to explain it to our law enforcement as we have to be like an ambulance driver and triage. When we first get to the scene of an injured person, you would not just immediately pick them up and put them in the vehicle. You have to first see, are they bleeding? Are they awake? Do they need medical help? Are there any bones that are broken that if I pick them up and move them into the vehicle to take them to the hospital, will I cause more damage? Same with a computer. If you just turn that computer off and send it to the lab, you're losing information. The biggest thing is RAM. It's called volatile data. RAM is, there's two types of memory on a computer. There's RAM, which is random access memory, and that's what's on the little memory chips that help the computer run. Now, every time you turn the computer off, that information in the RAM is lost. It's gone. It's completely erased, and it can never come back. Then the second type of information is the hard drive. Now, the hard drive is kind of like a phone book, and everything that you write to the hard drive, it's saving. You turn the computer off, you turn it back on, it's still there. Even when they try to delete it, a lot of times it's still there. But RAM is very important because it has a lot of information that can help us in our prosecutions in court. And this right here is called SOTI defense. We call it the SOTI defense. What that stands for is some other dude did it. Some other person did it. SOTI defense. And inside RAM will give you proof about who committed the crime and what they were doing. A couple of things. Right now, the two most common defenses being used in our courts today is our criminals will say, you found all that evidence on my computer, but I'm telling the court it wasn't me that put that evidence on my computer. Some criminal from Russia or Romania had hacked into my computer system, put in a Trojan horse, a back door. They were controlling my computer system remotely, committing all that criminal activity and making it look like me. Now, we know that's stupid, that no Russian is sitting over trying to put somebody in the United States in jail and committing crimes, making it look like them. But our judges want to know, can you tell us that this is untrue? One of the easiest ways that we can prove that it's untrue is if we make a copy, if we image RAM on the running computer, you can actually prove that that is not true. You can prove who was connected to that computer. Was there anybody remotely controlling that computer? Other people will say it's a virus that was controlling my computer and committing all that crime. Again, if you make a copy of the RAM, you can prove that no, that is not the case. That, along with your forensics, will give the judge the information to let them make a good decision. And perhaps at the break, I will prepare something, I can show you how easy it is to image RAM now. There's a new program out that makes imaging RAM so easy that every one of you can do it. And maybe that's what we'll do is I'll ask one of you to come up and image RAM for everybody. Would anybody want to do that? Sure. The other big reason why we need to image RAM, we're seeing a big problem in the United States right now with encryption. People are getting smarter. Criminals are getting smarter, and they're encrypting their data. So they know that when law enforcement comes in, they're going to grab their computer and they're going to send it to the forensics people, and they can find everything that they were looking at, everything they were thinking, everything that they were doing, all the evidence. So they're using encryption to either encrypt the entire drive or just portions of the hard drive, like different folders. Well, guess what? The password for all of their encryption tools are in RAM. So if you don't turn the computer off and you image RAM, then 90% of the time you can take and pull the password for their encryption out of RAM and then unlock all that information. And we have used that many times. In the Gonzalez case, where they had stolen several million credit cards, hacked into TJ Maxx and several other big banking institutions, stolen all the credit card information. They were stealing some $9 million a day. The criminal had all of his computers encrypted. Our law enforcement, our Secret Service and FBI, when they seized this person's computer, it was running, and before they turned the computer off, as a matter of fact, they waited. They were watching him to make sure that he was in his house and using his computer and was still there, that the computers were running, before they came in and busted the door down and grabbed his computer, because they wanted to make sure that the computer was running, because they knew that it was fully encrypted, and if he turned it off, they would never be able to get that information. So that's the big reason. I wonder if we should take a break. Yes, what I'd like to do is perhaps, I haven't heard any questions. Should we take a break? Wonderful. Sure, 15 or 30 minutes, that'd be fine. Absolutely. That way we give them plenty of time for questions. So what would you tell them?
ครับเราจะหยุดพักสัก20-25 นาทีเนี่ยนะฮะแล้วในช่วงนี้เนี่ยมีคำถามนะครับท่านจะสามารถถามโดยปากเปล่าหรือจะถามโดยคำถาม